Earlier this week, I walked into the house after doing some shopping, and I greeted my wife. How you? With my usual, how are you? And are you hungry? And she said, yeah, I'm fine. And she was watching TV, and they had a feature about Michael Landon. And so I put things away and started preparing lunch. Um, Michael Landon, he was Little Joe Cartwright in the TV Western series Bonanza. And his father was Ben Cartwright, played by Lorne Greene, I was remembering. And he had a big brother, a horse. And he had more than a 5-gallon hat. And he was played by Dan Blocker. And the other brother was Adam, and he was played by Pernell Roberts. And I was so pleased with myself. It's like I hit a grand slammer remembering this thing, because memory is very important to me. A little backdrop. I'm a retired accountant. Joanne was injured in a car accident. She was a victim of a careless driver, and she hasn't worked since January, and we don't have a car. So my days are busy doing shopping, doing laundry, accompanying Joanne to her rehab visits. And so I count on the Metro North. And it's, I think, a full-time job. But anyway, so things are a little tough economically. So what I do is use my accounting skills. And, one of the things we love are cherries. But if they're above $3.99, it's prohibited, because it's usually a 10-pound sack. That would be about $8, and I've seen it as high as $6.99. But anyway, preparing her lunch, and like I said, memory is very important to me, because I don't live near any of my 6 siblings, and I'm always thinking about them in terms of when we were growing up as kids, and now that they're old. Indeed, 3 of them have actually passed away, and 2 of them had very serious memory issues. To me, it's a distinction without a difference whether you call it Alzheimer's or dementia, but they couldn't take care of themselves. And indeed, the eldest is still with us, but she's completely hopeless with her forgetfulness and things like that. You can't be left alone. So anything to do with memory is very important. And I was thinking of a very sweet memory that was about the time I saw Bonanza. It was December 1960. I lived in a Catholic neighborhood, and John Kennedy, the new young president, was the first elected Catholic. But anyway, I'm walking home from Public School 92 on Parkside Ave. It's about a 15-minute walk each way. And I'm on Nostrand Avenue, which has this very wonderful wide sidewalks. You don't see wide sidewalks anymore. But anyway, I hear a tapping on glass. And I look over to the source, and it's coming from Vic's Variety Store. And there's Vic waving me over. He was tapping the glass with a coin. So I go over, and he said, I see that you are talking to my friend Harry, the laundryman, and you and your brothers are his pool of delivery boys. And I said, yeah. We were getting 15 cents for a bundle, which was, the price of a pizza or a big soda or a Subway token. He said, how would you like to work for me for Christmas? I'll pay you 45 cents an hour, and I'll pay you Christmas Eve. And wow, 45 cents an hour. For an 11-year-old, that was really good. So I went home, I told Mom about it. She was happy, and I started working with her. Now, in Vic's store, he sold games like Monopoly, Korea, Sorry, Scrabble, and all kinds of dolls for the girls, and other things, knickknacks, wrapping paper, and he was big on truck sets. And you see them advertised on TV, and they look very elaborate. But when you saw them in person, it was a little bit of a disappointment. But they were still nice and even above our means. Being one of 7 small kids, and our grandmother lived with us, and my father always had to work 2 jobs, and it was a little challenging, to say the least. But anyway, my job was Vic and his wife, well, the lead, they had so they had this stuff on shelves, and they had a ladder on wheels. So I would stock the shelves, and customer would want something, I would bring it down. I would also tie up the cardboard, put it out with the trash. I'd do the sweeping. I'd get them their coffee and sandwiches. And, you know, it was the first time I ever saw people eat a sandwich with a knife and fork. And that was fascinating to me. Anyway, and I'd work a couple hours a day, and it was good. Everybody seemed to be in a good mood. And so Christmas Eve, we got really crowded, and I ascended to authority. And Vic said, the store's very crowded. Please stand by the door, explain to the people, you'll let them in as other people leave. No problem, it was smooth. And about 8 o'clock, the store was bare and there were no customers. So Vic said, well, it's time to close up. He latched the door. I said, come to the back, I'll pay you. He had a notebook. And he said, you know, I have you worked at a total of 21 hours. Well, I knew that. I think the seeds of being an accountant was planted early. And that comes to $9.45. I also knew that. And he takes out a really nice, brand new $10 bill. And he handed it to me. He said, Merry Christmas, enjoy the family. Oh, thank you. Well, I folded that bill neatly, and I put it deep in my pocket, and I kept my hand there. So it took me a 2-minute gallop home around the corner to 312 Midwood Street, through the door with the small foyer with the black and white chip tiles, and up the crooked stairways to the first floor landing over Harry's laundromat. There was an elderly couple that lived above us. I opened the kitchen, the door which opened to the kitchen. There was Mom waiting for me. You know, I'm going to warm up your dinner now. And I found room on the table, took out the bill, I flattened it out, and I said, Mom, this is for you. I never saw her eyes get that wide. She smiled. And, you know, she fed me dinner. And if you talk about memories, that's one of the sweetest. Thank you.